Let's take a journey into understanding obesity. In this journey, we'll be covering a three-part series to look at obesity, its statistics, the definitions, methodology, theories doing the rounds today, and the solutions to that. Obesity is a problem. It's a big problem. If you're obese or even overweight, you should know that this is a precursor to many health problems, and most of these problems are chronic. Chronic means that they only come in and never go out. Never ever. But the good news is that all of these can be controlled. In further episodes in metabolism, we'll be exploring how to control these conditions as well. For now, let's continue with our journey into obesity. In the days of the COVID-19 pandemic, people have forgotten all about their other health problems. There is one problem we are particularly interested in because this is as big an epidemic as COVID-19. Because the way I see it, COVID will sooner than later, maybe within a year or two, disappear. But obesity is going nowhere. It's with us to stay. And therefore, it's a cause for worry. If I ask you, which country has the most number of overweight and obese people, it's a very easy answer and all of you will say USA. That's right. But guess who comes second? It's none of the well-to-do and developed countries in Europe or Australia or anything like that, but it's our friendly neighborhood giant, China. And we take the third place. Why is that so? Isn't India an undernourished country? It is, but the mere size of our populations puts China and India in this position. To feel a bit better, we could look at the percentage of overweight and obese amongst the whole population. Here again, the US stands way above the rest. More than 70% of its population is overweight and more than a third are obese. What about India? In India, a survey showed that in 1998-99, 10.6% were overweight and obese, which rose to 12.6% in 2005 and 6, and by 15-16, we had sharply risen to 20.7%. From an older study which looks at data from 2007, the study shows that the range of obese, I'm talking only obese now, range of obese is between 5.2% on the lower end to 30.3% in the prosperous states. If we were to extrapolate this to the present date, probably that number would be anywhere between 7.5 on the low side to 35% on the higher side. But again, you will see that all the developed states rank much higher than the underdeveloped and underprivileged. One interesting point that I could make out of this data is that hill states of Sikkim, Mizoram and Himachal Pradesh rank higher than Maharashtra and Gujarat, which are much more developed than these states. Aren't these hill states where people walk a lot, climb hill slopes up and down in the sense that they get more exercise than we do? Haven't we all heard that eat more, exercise less, and we will put on weight? So what is happening in these states? Later on, we'll look at probably what is wrong with their food. Another thing of note is that men and women tend to put on weight differently. This is because of the sexual hormones that flow through our body. Men eventually, if overweight, acquire an apple shape and the women a pear shape. Most of their fat accumulation is in the lower end of the body, whereas for the men, it's right in the center. Therefore, these two shapes. Obesity is measured in two ways. The more often used method is to calculate a person's BMI. If that number is between 18.5 to 25, you're supposed to be normal. If the number is between 25 and 30, you are overweight. If your BMI is over 30, you are obese. And if it is over 40, you are morbidly obese. The BMI is calculated by taking a person's weight in kgs and height in meter, and then the formula is weight in kg divided by height in meters squared. I have given the calculation on the screen for you to understand better. The other way to measure obesity is to take your waist to hip ratio. So you measure your circumference at the waist and the hip, divide waist by hip, and if it is over 0.9 for men, 0.85 for women, then you are obese. The best way to take the circumference at the waist is to take it at the biggest point, or about 3 inches above the navel. The other way to be certain is to feel your lowest rib and the top of the hip bone, and somewhere in the center you take the circumference. Your hip circumference should be taken wherever it is maximum. So circumference of the waist divided by circumference at the hip, and 0.9 for men, 0.85 for women. That's the danger sign. Thank you.